Let's be honest. Most people have no idea why they do what they do. They think they're logical. They think they're in control, but in reality, they're being pulled by invisible strings, emotions, instincts, fears, desires, all hidden deep within the human mind. And here's the harsh truth. If you don't understand human nature, someone else will, and they'll use it to control you. You'll keep trusting the wrong people. You'll keep reacting emotionally. You'll keep wondering why others succeed while you stay stuck, not because you're lazy, but because you never learned how people really work. But once you do, once you understand these timeless laws, you stop being a pawn in other people's games. You start to see through people. You become unshakable, calm, and powerfully in control. So today we're breaking down 8 of the most powerful laws from Robert Greene's The Laws of Human Nature and how they can completely transform the way you see the world and yourself. Let's begin. War 1. The Law of Irrationality. Master your emotions before they master you. We like to believe we're rational creatures, but truth is, we're emotional first, rational second. You think you're making logical decisions? You're not. You're making emotional ones and then justifying them with logic afterward. Ever bought something you didn't need? Stayed in a toxic relationship? Reacted impulsively? That's not logic. That's emotion disguised as reason. The danger? When emotions control your decisions, you become predictable, manipulable, easy to control. Robert Greene says, you must become the master of your emotional self, because the person who can stay calm while everyone else is losing their mind wins. So how do you do that? Observe yourself. Notice your triggers. When anger hits, pause. When fear rises, breathe. When excitement takes over, wait before you act. That small moment of awareness, that's where power begins. Because the one who controls their emotions controls their destiny. 2. The Law of Narcissism. See people for who they are, not who you want them to be. You ever wondered why people disappoint you? Why someone you trusted turns out fake? It's because you fell for an illusion, not reality. Everyone wears a mask. Everyone. Robert Greene says there's a little narcissist in all of us. We see the world through our own reflection, but most people are trapped in it, blind to how others really think and feel. The danger? You project your own emotions onto others. You assume they think like you, care like you, or love like you when they don't. The fix? Empathy. Real empathy. Not the, poor you kind, but the kind that observes, studies, reads the room. Pay attention to tone, energy, eyes, silence. People reveal more in what they don't say. The moment you stop expecting people to be like you gain clarity. You stop taking things personal. You start seeing people as they are, not as you wish they were. That's when you become powerful, because now you're playing the game of reality, not fantasy. 3. The Law of Role-playing. Everyone wears a mask, including you. Let's face it, society is a stage. Everyone is performing. From the smile at work to the I'm fine when they're not. Robert Greene says, we must always play a role, but we must never forget that we are playing one. The mistake most people make? They forget. They become their mask. They lose their authenticity trying to please others, trying to fit in, trying to be liked, and in the process, they lose power. Because real confidence isn't about impressing everyone. It's about knowing who you are, even when no one claps. So what's the move? Be aware of the roles you play. The friend, the boss, the student, the partner, but never confuse them with your identity. Use them strategically. You don't have to fake who you are. You just have to adapt. That's not manipulation, it's mastery, and that the world's greatest leaders aren't the most genuine all the time. They're the most aware of when to reveal and when to conceal. 4. The Law of Compulsive Behavior. The past is never dead. Ever met someone who keeps repeating the same mistakes? Different people, same drama, different jobs, same problems? That's not bad luck, that's programming. We all have emotional patterns built in our past by trauma, upbringing, or pain. We react not from logic, but from memory. That's why people sabotage themselves, because until you understand your patterns, you'll keep replaying them. Robert Greene calls this compulsive behavior. You're driven by old emotional wounds you never healed. The fix? Look at your past with brutal honesty. Ask, what situations keep repeating in my life? That's your lesson. That's your loop. Awareness breaks the pattern, because when you can name your demons, they lose their power. Heal the wound, and the compulsion fades. You stop reacting. You start choosing. That's how you take back control of your life. 5. The law of covetousness. Desire is the ultimate illusion. Look around you. People don't really want things, they want what others want. We desire what seems desirable. We chase success because others praise it. We crave attention because others crave it too. But the moment you get what you thought you wanted, it feels empty. Why? Because it wasn't your desire, it was borrowed. Robert Greene calls this the contagiousness of desire. And if you don't become conscious of it, it will eat your peace alive. The fix? Ask yourself, do I really want this, or do I just want to be seen wanting it? When you stop chasing imitation dreams, you start building authentic ones. The noise fades, the envy fades, and peace enters. That's when you finally start living your life, not the life you thought would impress others. 6. The law of short-sightedness. Think long game or stay trapped. Most people live in reaction mode. They chase instant rewards, instant pleasure, instant results. But life doesn't reward the impatient, it rewards the strategic. Robert Greene says, the greatest danger people face is the inability to see the long-term consequences of their actions. Think about it, every regret you have came from short-term thinking, skipping the gym, ignoring the hard talk, avoiding the uncomfortable decision. Short-term comfort always leads to long-term pain. Long-term discipline always leads to long-term freedom. So here's the fix. Zoom out. Play chess, not checkers. Ask yourself, if I keep doing this for 5 years, where will it take me? The moment you think beyond the moment, you rise above the crowd, because most people are addicted to now. You'll stand out simply by being patient. Chapter 7. The law of defensiveness. Influence by surrender, not force. Here's something counterintuitive. The harder you try to convince people, the more they resist. You think you're being persuasive, but in reality, you're triggering their ego. Robert Greene says, people are naturally defensive. The key to influence is to make them move toward you. That means stop pushing, start pulling, stop arguing, start listening. Stop trying to prove your point. Make them feel it's their idea. When you let go of control, you actually gain more of it. Influence isn't about overpowering someone. It's about guiding their emotions so subtly, they think it was their choice all along. In relationships, leadership, or business, remember, charm is power. Understanding is leverage, and patience is dominant. 8. The law of death. Denial, you have no time to waste. This is the deepest law of all. We live as if we're immortal, scrolling, delaying, pretending we have someday, but every second that passes is one you never get back. Robert Greene says, the denial of death is the source of all our psychological dysfunction. We avoid thinking about death, but in doing so, we avoid truly living. Think about it, if you knew you had 1 year left, would you still care about what people think? Would you still waste time on meaningless drama? Or would you start living boldly, honestly, fully? That's the paradox. Accepting death is what makes life vibrant. Every moment becomes precious. Every connection becomes real. Every dream becomes urgent. The fix? Remember, you are temporary, but your impact doesn't have to be. Live in a way that your existence leaves a mark, not through fame or wealth, but through authenticity and courage. Because in the end, the only true failure is never becoming who you were meant to be. The grand truth. See through the game. Human nature is not your enemy, it's your map. Once you understand how people think, feel, desire, and fear, you stop reacting blindly, you stop getting played. You become the calm observer, the one who sees 10 moves ahead. You don't have to manipulate, you don't have to dominate. You just have to understand. Because once you understand people, you understand power. And once you understand power, you understand life. Final message. You were never meant to live blindfolded, trapped by your impulses, fooled by appearances, or ruled by fear. You were meant to see through people, see through yourself, see the world as it truly is, not as your emotions paint it. That's how you rise above the norm. That's how you stop being controlled and start creating your own story. Remember this, the world runs on human nature, not logic. And the person who understands that doesn't just survive, they lead. So start today, observe more, react less, detach from illusions, and live consciously. Because when you master human nature, you master life itself.